Good morning. It is Sunday. It's a little after 11 a.m. It's the first official football-less Sunday in a while, you guys. We had the weekend between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, but that doesn't count. You still got football coming up, right? There's no NFL football coming up. There's no college football anymore. There's no Kelly, blue-gray, whatever. I don't know. Whatever that game is. There's nothing. There's nothing at all. So we're footballless right now. But that's okay. That's okay because we have baseball coming up soon.
I don't think we're live on Twitter again. Yeah, we're going to get this issue figured out here.
Yeah, listen, guys. If you're watching us on YouTube, we appreciate you. If you normally watch us on Twitter, and if you're seeing this somehow.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened on Twitter. We're apparently not able to go live on Twitter anymore. Even though it says we're live on Twitter, we're not actually live on Twitter. So if you are watching on YouTube, if you normally find us on YouTube, whatever it is, or if you're on Twitter, please go to the YouTube channel. Go to the Inside Edge Network YouTube channel. Search for us. Look for the logo. And please subscribe there. And make sure you click the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live. That seems to be an issue that we're having.
We'll fix it too. So
we will get it fixed. Yeah, we'll find a way to get to you. We appreciate you guys. We want to make sure that we bring you all the sports coverage that we can. I was going to tell you, speaking of sports, I'll say we've got baseball coming up, right? Pitchers and catchers have reported in a lot of places. The reason I know it's actually baseball season, I'm a Braves fan. I'll be honest with you. The Braves are already inundated with injuries. They've already got guys on the 60-day IL just from starting throwing programs. So that's how I know it's baseball season. But the way that you can know it's baseball season is that Wednesday night, the Inside Edge Network has you completely covered. First of all, at 7:30, we got Autumn and Christy, right? They're going to bring you Jersey Chasers. They'll react to the NBA All-Star Weekend stuff, which is still going on. We've got the All-Star game today, slam dunk contest, three-point contest last night. And they're going to bring you all the latest reality show gossip as well. And that's Jersey Chasers at 7:30 on Wednesday night. And when that's over, don't worry. The sports coverage isn't over yet because Rob Rozicki, Autumn Chisholm from Jersey Chasers, she's working a double that night. She's working hard. Eli Moon and myself are going to bring you the Inside Edge Network Cleveland Guardians preview show at 10 p.m. We'll start at 10, and then we're going to, we're gonna keep it running through the night because that's not even it. You might think that's it. Like that's two shows. That's enough, right? No, it's not enough. It's never enough because at midnight or whenever we're done with the preview show, you're going to catch the series premiere of Midnight Run with AA Anthony Alfred. That's it, and like I said, he says that's at the unhinged hour of midnight. So listen, you're still going to be up, right? You can't go to sleep. You're going to be excited from all the Guardians coverage, all the reality show stuff. You're going to be super excited. So make sure you tune into the Inside Edge Network. Just keep it right there all night. Again, that's on YouTube. That's on the X, Twitter. We're going to get this figured out. We'll find a way to get to
real quick. Inside Edge is up on Inside Edge Twitter right now because they somehow retweeted it. So we're on there, and I retweeted it on my Dynasty CLE. So hopefully we'll get some guys. So
all right,
some viewers. So
let's get some people, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a really good show for you guys today. We're going to talk. We'll do a little bit of let's just update the Olympics. We'll figure out what's going on there. We'll get into Ryan Mossor's big board today. We're going to talk centers and wide receivers. We're going to talk guys who snap the ball to the quarterback and guys who catch the ball from the quarterback. That makes sense. And then we'll get into we're going to talk about our Cleveland Athlete Mt Rushmore. We'll talk about the 4 or 5 guys. You never know. We can put a 5th face on there. There's plenty of rock. We can get up there and chisel away. We're fine. We're going to talk about our 4 or 5 athletes that we would put on our Cleveland Mt Rushmore, our personal Cleveland Mt Rushmore. We want to hear from you. Who's on your Cleveland Athlete Mt Rushmore? And then we'll talk about what's on our minds, and we will get out of here. We've got some stuff, all kinds of stuff in between, but let's get right to it because, right, it's Sunday. We got to go. It's a Sunday sports show. So first of all, Winter Olympics. Have you guys been watching any stuff at all? I mean, I've been trying to catch what I can. It seems like every time I go to the Peacock coverage, it's like they're doing a great job, but it's the same thing. It's always repeated, right? Like I feel like I watch the same 3 or 4 events like 4 or 5 times a day, and I'm having a hard time finding anything new. But the stuff I have watched has been pretty entertaining. There's a we can get into it later. There's the whole cheating scandal in curling. The Canadian teams are supposedly double touching the stone. I don't know. Apparently, you can only touch the stone. Only touch the stone once. Don't touch it twice. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Brian, I talked to TK about this yesterday. Did you see for the skaters on the medal podium, the surface that they used on the medal podium is damaging the skaters' blades?
No.
They're jumping up there to get their medals. They get down and they can't skate because they're I don't know, their skates are all nicked up or whatever. So I guess a bunch of the Olympic committees have been coming together to try to help some of the countries that don't have the resources, trying to get people sharpened or fixed or whatever they can do. So apparently the organizing committee, they issued an apology. Japan actually issued a formal complaint. Their skates were damaged so bad. So it's kind of a mess. It's the little things, man. When you're playing this for a decade, you don't think about the surface that you use on the medal podium damaging skates, right? That's just the one thing you use or whatever. Everything else is going off without a hitch. We don't have like toxic river water or anything this year, so that's good. Like we did the Summer Olympics, that was bad. But anyway, quick medal count update. Norway leads overall, 24 total medals, and do you see the number of golds is there in parentheses? They have 11. Italy, the home country, is second with 22 overall medals. They have 8 golds, and then the USA is we're still in third. We've got 17 total medals, just 5 golds so far. So I guess I don't know, take that how you will. But that's the basic. I mean, like I said, that's the medal count. I've got a couple of videos though, Ryan, and TK and I talked about a couple of these yesterday. I just want you to watch these because there have been some moments from this Winter Olympics, and not like the typical Olympic moment, right? Like not like redemption for someone who whatever broke both legs and came back and won a gold. Nothing like that this year so far. There have been some odd moments. Anything goes in Italy. So I want you to watch this video. And it's in Norwegian, Ryan, so you're going to have to read the captions. Unless you speak Norwegian fluently, which maybe you do. I have no idea.
Norway.
Norway. That's huge. Anyway, so if you just watch this video, and if you're watching with us, watch along, and I'd love to see your reaction in the comments as well. Maybe some of you have seen this, but check this out.
Første OL-medalje, og jeg vil takke alle som har hjulpet meg på veien. Smørerne for en kjempegod skidag, og hele familien som har backa meg. Og så det en jeg ville dele det her med, som kanskje ikke ser på i dag. For et halvt år siden så møtte jeg mitt livs kjærlighet. Verdens vakreste, fineste person. Og for 3 måneder siden så gjorde jeg min største tabbe og var utro mot henne. Og det fortalte jeg for en uke siden. Og det har vært den verste uken i mitt liv. Så jeg hadde gullmedalje i livet. Det var sikkert bare mange der nå som ser på meg med andre øyne. Men jeg har kun øyne for henne. Jeg vet ikke hva jeg vil frem til ved å si det her nå, men...
Okay. So, first, I mean, the more I watch this video, the worse I feel for the guy. Okay. But I don't know if this was necessarily the platform from which you wanted to make this announcement. Ryan, what are your initial thoughts? Have you seen this, by the way, Ryan?
I haven't. That's crazy. First and foremost, I don't feel bad for the guy at all. He cheated on his significant other. You get what you get, bro. Sorry. Nonetheless, I mean, what? Like, first off, did he get gold? I mean, he better have gotten gold.
I believe he did. I believe he won.
Okay. At least he got gold. Because if it was like bronze, he's doing that. That's embarrassing, bro. I mean, of course it's bronze. It's not. But he still won bronze. But nonetheless, I mean, if there's one thing that the Olympics are known for, it's that village. Like, there are some Norwegian honeys up there looking to snuggle, and you're over here crying about some girl you cheated on 3 months ago, who obviously is done with you, bro. Like, what? This is insane. I mean, I would not have used that platform for that. I think it's embarrassing. I don't feel bad for him at all.
Yeah. It's a family show, so I'll keep it clean, but there is a certain apparatus that you use when you're trying to protect something from something. And I'll tell you that Olympic athletes have gone through more than 10,000 in 5 days. So, that's you mentioned the Olympic Village. That's the nature of the Olympic Village. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is crazy. Maybe look at this as like a speed dating opportunity, right? You've got speed skating. Maybe we need Olympic speed dating. I don't know. That could be a thing. We could talk about that maybe for 2030. But regardless, let's move on. There's another video. Speaking of just shots to, well, I'll let you react to this one as well, Ryan. I want you to see this one. This is also painful. maybe in a different way, though. Check this out.
Now it's the Frenchman, Yannick Bertrand. Through the S-turn. Yannick Bertrand. Oh, the gate to the groin for Yannick Bertrand, and you could hear it. And if you're a man, you could feel it. Wow, watch this again. Oh, the Frenchman. Oh, monsieur. Wow, the boys took a beating on that one.
Well,
you're telling me he got hit in his wee-wee?
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
my gosh. That's nuts, bro. Oh, my gosh. Jeez.
I mean, listen, I can't imagine the balls it takes to do something like this, right?
To get your squeal. Valid. So valid.
I would have gone down. I would have kicked my skis off. I mean, I don't even care anymore. Broken leg doesn't matter. I don't care. Can you imagine the pain? Like, you know how it is. If you just get a small 65 miles an hour, a gate to. Anyway, you got to watch those turns, man. You can't go in too high, or else you see what happens.
Yeah. Looks like he lost a lug nut on the way over. I don't know.
He's got parts all over the downhill. That's rough. So that's our Winter Olympic update. I mean, not a lot of good news there. We got damaged skates, damaged feelings, and damaged gates, I guess. We'll just go with the gate on that one. So that's your Winter Olympic update. I'm going to put that medal count up there one more time for you. Again, Norway leads the way with 24. That's huge. Italy has 22 overall, and the USA is third with 17. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what our medal expectation is for the rest of the Olympics. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel like the host country. I don't know. Who picks the Olympic order? Like, who actually does anybody know how that works? I mean, what order do the events go in? Is it always the same?
No idea.
I have no idea. I wonder if it's like the host country, like, hey, let's put everything we're good in up front, and we'll just like hope for America. We'll hope to stay in it. We'll like front load everything that we're really good at. At least we'll be at the top of the medal count for the first few days, right? But yeah, Italy in there at second right now. Norway leading the way, and the U.S. is third with 17. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on because I'm in pain now. I'm in physical pain. We'll talk about one more quick thing. Just actually here locally, we'll talk about. I'm going to ask you this: is loyalty overrated in sports? James Harden says yes. I don't know if you guys saw this. He was talking just post game the other night. I'm not sure the question he was asked, honestly, but this was his answer to it, and he was kind of speaking on loyalty. And I want to get both your TK. You and I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I want to get both your guys' reactions on this. I just watched James Harden.
Whole quote unquote loyalty thing I think it's overrated. I think this is a business at the end of the day, and it's a lot of money involved and a lot of decisions that has to be made. You know what I mean? So, like if a player isn't producing, or if you don't see him in the future, or front office, some of them have to do like a job and want to keep their job. So they gotta feel like they got to do what's best for to keep their job, and they trade players. Or if a guy isn't happy and he wants to be traded to somewhere else, then it's a problem. It's just so many different dynamics that go into it. This is a business at the end of the day. So like, not even just NBA, but like people that have normal jobs have those same problems. It's just not magnified. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always about like I don't lose focus of trying to compete for a championship, and then financially, making sure that my family is taken care of. You know what I mean? Because I'm very smart, and I've sacrificed a lot. Financially, like, which I don't get credit. I don't get talked about, but I'm fulfilled and I'm happy with it. But like winning a championship, or at least having a chance to, and then financially getting paid for me being available and playing at the highest level for so long. So. To answer your question, this is a business at the end of the day. So I feel like players should, ultimately do what's best for them, and front office does what's best for them and their owner and their organization. So, it's two sides of a story.
Okay, reasonable. Ryan, is he right? I mean, I think he's right for the most part, right?
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. I had no disagreements there with any point he made. I mean, people are, praise these owners, but you're disposable. I mean, even at your job, like there's no loyalty. Like they could fire you and hire somebody else to do your job in a second, if not AI or something else. Like I don't understand. Like I have never been loyal to. I used to be a police officer. I wasn't loyal to my job 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, you always got to look out for yourself, and and of course, with the goals in mind to progress, professionally, and like you said, win a championship. His goal is to win a championship and make sure his family is set up for the rest of their life. He doesn't need to have loyalty to Cleveland, to Houston, to any of these places, OKC, any places he played. He has to be loyal to his family, loyal to his craft and his career, and it's a business. Of course it is. There are not a lot of people, or at least players recently that I know, have that mindset. A lot of people love I love Darius Garland. He was here when nobody else was here. He was brought up. He was, he's homegrown. I get that. And that's feel good. But at the end of the day, look what happened. He's gone for a guy who just only doesn't, is not loyal, doesn't care, only cares about his craft. So, I mean, that should be the mindset both ways. Yeah, you both have the intentions of winning a championship and have your intentions best at heart. But I mean, I'm not arguing with him. That's common sense to me. So.
Yeah, I mean, TK, we talked about it a little bit yesterday on illegal formation here on the Inside Edge Network. But I mean, does it take some of the sting off of Kevin Durant going to the Warriors, or is that a different situation than James Harden kind of wanting out of a sinking ship in the Clippers and getting traded to the Cavs and trying to help bring the Cavs a championship? It's not like, I mean, Durant did not join a team that was in need of a ton of help, right, with the Warriors. That's a little bit different situation, isn't it?
Much different situation, but at the same time, I do believe that both players have been moving quite similarly. These are both players that have been traded more than 4 times within the last 5 to 7 seasons. So I understand, loyalty really doesn't play that much of a factor in the business of professional sports anymore. And I understand that. I respect that. That's fine. And what better person to come out and say that than James Harden? So,
yeah, I mean, yeah, self-awareness, I think, is huge, right? That's huge. I think when you have that kind of self-awareness, I mean, I think it's just the message is different, It felt weird when Kevin Durant was on that OKC team that they took the Warriors to the brink, right? They had him and they couldn't put him away. And then the next season he joins it, and it felt weird, I guess it'd be different if maybe I'd feel different about James Harden talking about this if the Clippers had the Cavs down 3-0 in the finals or something, last year, and the Cavs came back and won in a crazy way. And then Harden's like, hey, I want traded over there, right? I mean, no, you come back and you try to beat that team, right? But I mean, when there's no prior engagement, I guess it just feels a little bit different. And then when you get James Harden, the one thing I will pick apart in his message a little bit, Ryan, I'll mention this to you. TK and I talked about it yesterday. I've been talking about it all week. He says he's made some financial, he's made some sacrifices. He's made $461 million just in salary playing basketball in the NBA in his career. I'm not sure where the sacrifices are. I mean, he's slightly ahead of me in that regard, but only by just about 461 million. So that's not that bad. I'm close, but yeah, I'm confused about where the financial what do you is he talking about taking less money maybe somewhere?
I don't know. Maybe just personal opportunities that he had to set by the wayside by leaving or something like that. Or, I mean, I'm not one to guess on it. I'm sure in some way, yeah. I mean, he's out of our price range when it comes to lifestyle, but nonetheless, I mean, when you're trying to make as much as you can, and if you see a loss of a deal somewhere here or there, I don't know. Yeah, I could see it. I don't really necessarily feel that or ever relate to that, but I could see it. So
yeah, it's funny how we do that too, and it's partly my fault that I just did it. When we talk about 5 or 10 million not being a lot of money,
right? Yeah,
to a guy who's it is a lot of money. I mean, it's a huge amount of money, right? And I'm talking about it's not that much. But it is. I mean, I don't care if you've made $461 million. $1 million is still a lot of money. And anytime you leave $1 million on the table, I guess it probably feels bad. I wouldn't know. Well, I've done nothing but leave.
I would love to know.
Yeah, I would love to know what that feels like, but I do not have that experience. All right, let's go to break. We're gonna go to break real quick. We'll take a 5-minute break. When we come back, you know what? It's back. We've got Ryan Mossor's big board. We're going to look at centers and wide receivers today that we think the Browns should at least be. Again, we can't get all these guys, right?
Whose scrawny body is that, bro?
Well, you got to start hitting. Dude, you got to hit the weight room. I mean, I know it's tough. We got all these shows on the inside.
Oh my gosh,
very busy. You know what? Don't worry about a scrawny body. I'm going the other way right now. I got Christmas cookie body. I just told Double A earlier, he had me come up here and do a promo. I walked upstairs. I'm like, I should not be out of breath, man. It's 13 steps. Like, what am I doing? So I got to hit the cardio. So I'm going the other way on that one. So don't feel bad. Anyway, we got Ryan Mossor's big board coming up. And that's Ryan's body. Well, there you go.
He's an idiot. That's my best man. He's a jerk.
Oh, there you go, Jacob. You're a jerk, Ryan says. How you feel about that? That's not.
Oh, I've said much worse to that guy.
He's used to it. It's fine. Anyway, we'll get into centers and wide receivers. We'll talk about some guys that we think should be on the Browns' radar. Just based on Ryan Mossor's algorithm that he's developed. It's first of all, like I said, this is smart guy stuff. It's a lot of work. So please stick around for that. You're gonna want to hear the breakdown. We'll get into that. Before we go to break, please visit our sponsor at allyrosefragrances.com. Valentine's Day is over. I know, I get it. And I said it on the promo earlier. Maybe you had a date over, at your house, and you thought, something's not quite right. Something doesn't smell right. I didn't take the trash. I did something wrong, right? It doesn't smell good in here. You know what you do? There's one really, really easy thing to do. You go to allyrosefragrances.com. You use our code at checkout, Inside Edge 20, capital I, capital E, all one word, Inside Edge 20. You get 20% off your entire order. You light some candles. Your house smells amazing. Okay. My wife and I ordered some. They're coming on Tuesday. I'm super excited. I cannot wait to have them in my hand. My daughter's super excited to burn them. Although every time, we get stuff like this, she's like, well, let's not burn. Let's hold on to it for a while. Just smell it. So she'll probably make us just smell it for a couple of weeks, but I'm excited for that. And keep in mind, these are homemade in the USA, in Charlotte, North Carolina, right here in the USA. All natural ingredients. They're vegan. They're cruelty free. They're not going to have the chemicals and the weird stuff of some of the bigger box companies. Some of the stuff that you burn, you can see that you're not going to get that. You're going to get a little longer burn time as well. So please visit our sponsor at allyrosefragrances.com and use the code Inside Edge 20 for 20% off your entire order. And I'll put that up as we go to break as well. Please visit our sponsor. And like I said, hang with us for about 5 minutes. We're going to take a break on the Inside Edge Network. We will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. It's almost noon. We're cruising right through. It is time for it's time for Ryan Mossor's big board. Listen, like I said, we're gonna get into just centers, wide receivers, guys that we again, just like the tackles and guards that we talked about in the last few weeks over time. Guys that we think should be on the Browns' radar. That we on the Sunday Sports Show think, or at least that Ryan Mossor thinks his big board. It's not our big board; it's his big board, right? So Ryan, where do you want to start with centers? Let's start with centers. Want to do that? Who are your top guys? Who are some of the guys that you think the Browns should have an eye on? Whether it's I don't know. I mean, probably not first round. I don't know if there are any first round centers, but second, third round. I mean, you can still fill. I mean, you can get a starter in the third round if you do it right, or you can get Dylan Gabriel. Well, I guess he started. That's fine. Officially, he was a starter, so whatever. Proved me wrong. But Ryan, tell me some of your top centers that you think the Browns should at least have on their radar, if not be seriously looking to draft.
Yeah. So as you said, there's not, I don't think, any first round center this year. Honestly, my top center is currently my 71st overall offensive prospect. So even so, it's not necessarily, I mean, he's good. I think he's good. I have roughly 300, a little over 300 prospects from offense. I mean, so that's not awful. Top third is Parker Brailsford, the offensive center from Alabama. I think he is the top center in this draft. He's one of the most intelligent and technically refined centers in this entire class. I mean, his game is built around quickness, leverage, elite mental processing. He plays with the command of a veteran. He diagnosed fronts. He setting projections and adjusting to late movement with a level of confidence you rarely see from a college center. He isn't the biggest interior lineman. He is 6'2", 275, 285. We'll see officially during the combine here. These are obviously all pre-combine measurements, but he compensates with, I think, exceptional footwork. He has really great balance, and the ability to win angles before defenders generate power. His first step is explosive. His reach block ability is really, really good as well. Some would say outstanding, and he consistently puts himself in the right position to seal, climb, or redirect. He is the prototype for a modern zone center, smart, efficient, and as always, one step ahead of the defense. His size is obviously his limitation. I think why he fits for the Browns. I think he fits for the Browns because he brings exactly what this offensive line lacked on the interior: a true command center who can handle protections, win with leverage, and thrive in a movement-based run game. Cleveland's offense leans heavily on wide zone angles and timing. We'll see, how Todd Monken does with the offense, but nonetheless, I don't know. I think that he would be a good fit. His athletic profile for the Browns, the scheme better than traditional power-based center, and for a team looking to stabilize the interior, or get a more efficient in the run game, he's a natural high floor hit for the Browns, I would say.
Okay. As far as the size, I don't think you need your center to be too big. I think 6'2".
No, yeah.
I think that's a great size for center.
I just think weight-wise, he's definitely going to have to gain some mass on him for sure. 275 going against, guys just there's big defensive tackles. That could be a problem. But like I said, he's got a decent anchor for his size. But in an NFL program, he should get bigger. Yeah, you want the center to be shorter, obviously, guards to be a little taller, and then obviously the tackles to be the big maulers. So. Yeah,
big long arm guys with leverage and everything else. Mm-hmm. TK, I saw you pointing when Ryan said his top guy. I assume you agree.
Absolutely, I loved Parker Brailsford at Alabama. Also had a lot invested in Indiana's Pat Coogan. I thought he played very well this year. Definitely a name that flies under the radar. I think the consensus number one center for a lot of people that I've been hearing lately, Jake Slaughter from the University of Florida, very good player, 6'4", just over 300 pounds. Not one particular thing that he does particularly great. Really good in pass protection. Struggles a bit in the run game from time to time, but is still a very decent run blocker. Also got to think about Connor Lew from Auburn, who I also like a lot. Pretty decent center class. Not pretty much like what Ryan said. This is a decent center class, but not anyone worth taking in the first round. You got a couple guys that you can see fly off the board, middle of the second round, maybe at the top of the second round, maybe. But yeah, you see a lot of guys fly off the middle of the second round, definitely the third round. Day 2 and day 3 is going to be where you see a majority of your interior guys go, especially centers.
It's crazy how those guys get there too, and they just come in and quietly just do the job. There's not a lot of fanfare, but they just come in, they make themselves a starter, and they're Ryan, let me ask you, either one of those guys that TK mentioned, where are they on? Anywhere near your top?
Yeah, so Connor Lew, he mentioned, he's my second ranked center. There is, I think, a drastic drop compared to Brad. I think he is at a tier of himself. Parker Brailsford from Alabama. Everyone else, I think, is a drop of, like I said, Brailsford was my 71st prospect. Connor Lew is my 161st offensive prospect. I do like him as well. He mentioned Pat Coogan. He's my 5th. And then Jake Slaughter's my 7th as well. So top 10 centers here. And I mean, once you get from my 3rd ranked to my 7th, my 10th ranked even, it's pretty fractional difference between them. So it's just where my system likes them more. So I have Logan Jones from Iowa as my 3rd center, Bryce Foster, the center from Kansas, as my 4th, and then he mentioned Pat Coogan as my 5th as well. I think there are some decent centers here. I think there some will end up becoming solid starters. Maybe Parker can become, a high-end starter. But I don't think maybe mid to second, definitely in the 3rd round, like TK said, for sure. So,
okay. Raul Havana asked, is Wills still available? I think Jedrick Wills is perpetually available, Raul. I think, he's out there for whatever you need him for. Just not a left tackle, or maybe even really an offensive lineman. No, I've said before. I think I would take a shot on Wills, moving him inside if he were on the roster. I wouldn't go out and get him. I mean, if he were a guy that were still here, then I'd say, well, let's shoot him inside the guard and see what happens and take a shot. But
I wholeheartedly disagree. That guy Olays has 0 effort and sucks. He can stay away from my team. Our offensive line's bad enough.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't go out and necessarily seek him out. But if he were here and had a year left on the contract, you got to try to get something out of him. But
hopefully a washing machine or something.
It's right. Some of the money back that they paid him, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you got to be who you are in this world, right? So he's a turnstile, and that's okay. So do you want to move on from centers? Are we going to wide receivers? Do you have anybody else?
We can go to receivers. Yeah. Okay. I could break down Connor Lew if you want, but centers are boring. I mean,
a little underwhelming center class. Like I said, there's no fanfare. They just come in and quietly do the job. I mean, you know how it is in the trenches, man. You don't get a lot of credit. You don't really get your name mentioned unless you do something really wrong. So we do want to bring obviously some light to those guys. I mean, they're the top tackles and guards and centers that we talked about so far. But yeah, sometimes it's not the sexy pick. People don't get excited about a center or a guard. I mean, they just don't. It could change your franchise for almost a decade, but people just really, it's not exciting. It's not like a quarterback or a wide receiver. So let's move on to wide receivers. They're exciting. They have fun personalities all the time, right? They're different. Brian, tell me who are some of your top wide. Well, give me your top wide receiver first, then we'll go into some of the top guys.
My top ranked wide receiver is Carnell Tate in my system, and he is alone up there. He's actually currently my top offensive ranked player, period. Overall, the linemen, over quarterbacks, over receivers. Jeremiah Love is second, but it's still not necessarily super closer than, but nonetheless, I love Carnell Tate. He's polished. He's a fluid perimeter receiver who wins with pacing, body control. He has natural ball skills, incredibly calm and controlled through every phase of the route. Nothing is rushed with him. Nothing is wasted. He can vary tempo, manipulate leverage, and his snap off breaks with real efficiency, giving him consistent separation all 3 levels. His ball skills stand out as one of the strongest parts of his game, obviously. He has incredibly clean hands, late adjustments, and the ability to finish through contact on the boundary. He's not a pure burner, obviously. He does need to gain a little weight, too. He's 6'2", 195. You want to get him 205, 210, but still maintain some of his speed. He's projected a 4.4-ish 40 time. But his long speed plays up, and he builds pace so smoothly and stacks defenders with stride efficiency. He has strong awareness, understands spacing, already plays with the maturity as a veteran receiver as well. I think he would fit perfectly with the Browns personally. Brings exactly what the offense has been missing: a reliable 3-level separator who can win outside the numbers and give a quarterback a trustworthy, timing-based target. I don't know. He has a high floor, clean projection, and a professional approach to make him ideal fit for a team looking for a young receiver who contribute early and grow into a featured role. I really, really like Cardell Tate a lot.
Okay. Would you take him at 6 if you're the Browns? Would you?
Oh yeah, I would take either one of my top 3 receivers at 6 if they're there. To be honest.
Okay. All right.
So my first Cardell Tate's my number 1. Jordan Tyson is my number 2, and then Mekhi Lemon is my number 3, and that's consensus. Normally, not necessarily. My projections won't always go off of consensus, but that's the way it worked out. Across the board, it's pretty. These guys, I don't necessarily think they're 100% interchangeable because they do play different positions. Obviously, Mekhi Lemon plays on the inside, and the other 2, Tyson and Tate, are outside burners. But they are all 3 very, very good. Jordan Tyson I like a lot. Obviously, there are the injury concerns there as well. His injury history is one thing that gets brought up a ton. He tore his MCL, ACL, and PCL in Colorado in 2022 during a freshman breakout season. He sustained a hamstring injury in 2023 after he transferred to Arizona State. A lot of people, say that's just, a secondary injury after a follow-up injury after the ACL tear, obviously.
Makes sense.
Not to mention he's still recovering off of that injury as well, the ACL injury. In 2024, he suffered a collarbone injury and missed the college football playoffs with Arizona State. That's when Cam Scatterby dominated. And then 2025, he had a hamstring injury as well, which made him miss a little bit of time last year. But even with all those injuries in his college career, 33 games, 158 catches, 2,282 yards, 22 touchdowns, 14.4 yards per catch. So yes, we should acknowledge his injury history. It would be irresponsible not to. But when you watch how he plays, it's hard to find signs that, those setbacks have taken anything away from his game. If anything, I think he looks a little sharper. He's more intentional, because of what he's been through. He competes with real toughness, handles physical corners without flinching, and carries himself, like someone who's had it to earn every step of his development. It has not been easy for him, and he's still considered a top receiver. Some say the top receiver in this draft. For me, the injuries aren't necessarily a reason to hesitate. I think they're part of what shaped him into a mature, detail-oriented receiver who already plays with a professional mindset. Similar to Cardell Tate, how he fit with the Browns. We need a true boundary receiver who can win with technique, timing, and consistency, and both these guys can do that. It's just, in my system, Cardell Tate is higher up. I would be so happy if we drafted Jordan Tyson as well. So, and not to mention his brother plays for the Cavs and is looking like hopefully a star. This dude's dominating. I love him. Mekhi Lemon's my 3rd receiver. I won't necessarily go over him. I do really like him a lot. He is my 11th ranked prospect and my 3rd ranked receiver. 5'11", 185. He's one of those receivers that jump off the tape because of how naturally he understands space. He's hard to get down. He's quick and shifty, and I don't know. I want to talk about a surprise in my rankings here. Jacoby Lane is my 4th receiver. That's not necessarily a huge surprise. It could be to some, obviously. Casey Conception, Denzel Boston, those guys are there. Denzel Boston is my 6th, and Conception is my 8th.
Okay.
But a guy I love, I had him in my college fantasy football drafts of my C2C drafts when he was at Kentucky, transferred to LSU last year. But a guy named Barium Brown.
Okay.
Barium Brown, LSU, is my 5th ranked receiver in this draft. 13th overall prospect on my offensive big board. 6'1", 180, projected to run in the low 4.3 40s for his 40 time speed. He's incredible fast. One of the most explosive receivers in this entire class. His game is built around pure acceleration and the kind of long speed that forces defenses to change how they line up. He's sudden off the line. He eats cushion instantly, and he has that rare ability to turn a simple route into a vertical threat just by how quickly he gets into stride.
I had a dog next to the cushions.
Yeah, I love Barry Brown. He plays with urgency. Everything he does is fast, sharp, and designed to stress defenders. He's dangerous on crossers. He's a problem on deep shots, and he's the type of receiver who can flip the field position with one touch. Even though he's not a big physical receiver, he competes with real toughness and shows better body control than you expect from someone with his frame, I think, as well. His ability to track the ball, adjust late, and finish in stride make him a legitimate big play weapon in all three levels. I do not think he will be a first-round pick. I mean, he could maybe during the combine he shows off, some Xavier Worthy type, performances, and he gets thrown up there. But you could probably get him in late second, third round right now, and I think this guy could be the steal of the draft maybe. How he fits with the Browns personally, he brings something that the offense hasn't had. Enough of, a true field stretching speed that defensives have to respect. We thought Isaiah Bond could be that. Maybe he will be in the future. We don't know. I think this guy will be for sure. Cleveland has lacked a consistent vertical threat, and Brown's ability to force safeties to back up would immediately open up space for the rest of the passing game. He's the kind of player who creates easy throws just by being on the field because of his acceleration. It demands cushion, and his motion versatility fits perfectly with the Browns spacing-based concepts. Whether he's working underneath, stretching the field, or being used on scheme touches, he adds explosive element from the offense, that we desperately need. For a team that's looking to get faster, more dynamic, and more unpredictable, he's a natural fit. But like I said, he's definitely not going to be consensus top 5 for sure. Okay. My algorithm loves him though, so we'll see. I don't know.
And it sounds like the mental toughdness too. And by the way, Raul can't wait for the Kenny Britt comeback tour. I don't know where he.
Yeah, him and Dwayne both, man. It'd be so fun. They can do the coin toss. Awesome. Gosh.
Oh my goodness, man, that's a throwback to some horrible Browns memories. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like you said, mental toughness. Just the ability to go over the middle. I mean, it's going to make him a problem on they can run some mesh routes. I know that Shador's probably if Sanders is the quarterback, probably pretty comfortable with those type of routes. And you need a guy that can take the top off of defense, like you said. I can't remember the last guy since maybe Josh Gordon that was really a legitimate deep threat. And even Gordon wasn't that much of a deep threat. It was more just like swing pass, give him the ball in space and let him go, let him create. And then the 4.3 speed is going to be intriguing to people. I think, like you said, if he gets into the combine and shows out in the 40 and the cone drill or whatever.
And he's got good hands too. Usually, you guys who are fast but don't have great hands. Anthony Schwartz, for example, for the Browns, this guy can catch. So
yeah. And speaking of Shador Sanders, Raul says we need 48th ranked Pro Bowl quarterbacks. Hey, listen, 48's not bad out of 40 or whatever. I don't know. TK, any names on that list? I know you're a Carnell Tate guy. I know. Well, okay, Raul's not wrong here. Listen, it's neither here nor there. TK, I know you're a Carnell Tate guy. Here's a guy who's I don't know why I keep saying here's a guy. I just keep doing that. It's like I get it now. I'm sorry. I made fun of Chris Collinsworth and John Gruden for years, and now it's just instinctive. It comes right out. Anyway, you're a Carnell Tate guy. I'm sure. I'm assuming you would easily take him at 6. Any of the other top? Do you like Ryan's top 3? Any of those guys at 6 as well?
Me and Ryan have identical top 3s. I think about 85% of the country, when it comes to this debate, has the same top 3. Okay. Don't necessarily think it's in the same order for 85% of the country. But for me and Ryan, we're agreeing on this one. Cadillac take number 1, Jordan Tyson a very close number 2, and then Mekhi Lemon would finish that off. With Carnell Tate, yes, I would take him at number 6. To be quite honest, if I'm an NFL GM, I would take the young man as high as number 3 in this year's draft. Because I truly believe that this draft is going to be ran by Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, and Ohio State do-everything linebacker Arvell Reese. I definitely think those are the top 2 catalysts in this year's draft. With Carnell Tate, the 4.6 speed kind of scares you a little bit. Look for him to go either mid 4.5. If he can go lower 4.5, either the combine or the pro day, that'll be great for him. You would also have to look for teams like Tennessee and the New York Giants, who might look to add to that treasure chest of offensive pieces, to help out Cam Ward and Jackson Dart a little bit more for the upcoming season. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
With Jordan Tyson, you talked about his injuries. I think he is more so of a possession receiver. When you go against Cadillac Tate and you put Jordan Tyson there, the possession receiver thing comes up quite a bit with Mr. Tyson. 711 yards last year. Yes, I understand 164 fewer than Carnell Tate, but 8 touchdowns as well. So, you give this man the football, more than likely he's going to try to make a play for the end zone. And Mekhi Lemon is just a maniac in the slot. He does everything. He can block, very shifty, very quick. Not necessarily a burner, but has very, very good hands. Outside of the top 3, it starts to get interesting because obviously you think about KC Concepcion from Texas A&M. You think about other guys like Chris Bell from Louisville. I like to talk about the Indiana boys, both Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr., who I definitely think are going to get a lot of buzz in these next couple months, and you could see both of those cats slide into the second round. I see the consensus on Omar Cooper Jr. and said he's going to go 3rd or 4th. I definitely do not think that is true. He's going to go much higher than that. Obviously, the big guy from Tennessee, Chris Brazzell. I hope I pronounced that right. Height, weight, speed cat, doesn't necessarily have the gaudy numbers that you look for a college wide receiver. I know a lot of guys are still scarred from when the New York Giants took Jalen Hyatt a couple years ago, and that pick necessarily hasn't worked out. Not to mention Cedric Tillman has also had his struggles. So the jury's kind of out on UT wide receivers right now. But I do think he could possibly be the guy that breaks that mold.
Okay.
Granted, he goes to the right team, right situation, gets the right quarterback. Thanks, sir.
Okay. Jalen Tyson, not Jalen Tyson. We talk about Jordan. We can talk about Jalen Tyson, but we're not talking Cavs. We talk about Jordan Tyson. I guess some of the soft tissue stuff is a little concerning. Collarbone is just a freak thing, but I really don't think hamstring injuries are that uncommon for wide receivers. I mean, think about all the quick twitch movements, the quick takeoffs. I think that's pretty common. A lot of guys have hamstring problems that haven't necessarily. It might nag them that season, but it doesn't plague them in the future. So I don't know that I'm that concerned about that. Real quick, I want to address the comment. Raul said, "Didn't Tate disappear like Casper in the Miami?" Yeah, but that's probably more on the offensive line's inability to keep Julian Sayin in a clean pocket. I mean, he didn't have time to look down the field. I mean, they didn't run Tate on a whole lot of quick swinger. I mean, he's more of a downfield guy, and they just didn't really have time. I mean, Sayin didn't. There was never any rhythm. There was never any time in the pocket. I mean, we jump on Sayin a lot for his inability to scramble or whatever, and maybe it's not the inability. Maybe it's just that he just didn't do it in that game for whatever reason. Because I've seen his highlights. I mean, he could run in high school. He could run football. But Ryan Day doesn't like his quarterbacks to run a whole lot. I think he likes to keep them in the pocket, maybe keep them safe, keep them healthy. So yeah, I think Tate maybe not having the best numbers in that game against Miami is more because of that Miami defensive line that just created absolute havoc for the Buckeyes. But go ahead.
Yeah, going off of TK as well, like with the Tate and Tyson argument as well. Carnell Tate was the second option at Ohio State. Sometimes even and what a great second option it was. Jordan Tyson was the first top option. And I feel like, if the rules were reversed, maybe the stats would be a little different. Maybe Tate's touchdowns would be up. I mean, the Ohio State's offense, they have pieces. Everyone who touches the ball is going to score, basically. With that, also, he talked about Elijah Surratt. I like Surratt a lot. He is my 9th ranked receiver. Chris Bell, he mentioned, is my 10th. Chris Bell just tore his ACL recently, though, so hopefully he'll recover with that. That might drop his draft stock a little bit. We'll see. If it does, he would be a huge pickup in the second round, mid to late second round for sure, I think. My system did not like Omar Cooper, though, which is going against consensus because everyone's talking about how this guy's going to be a huge riser, probably second round pick. He is the 18th overall receiver right now. We'll see with that. I don't know. I don't have in front of me the why. I mean, I can scroll down. It's going to take forever, so I'm not going to do that. But very interesting that I and there's things I like for sure. But yeah, it's interesting that he's the 18th ranked on my system as well. So
and honestly, that's what I love about your algorithm. It's not. I mean, it's not just like regurgitating the top 10 guys in every position. I like that. I like that. It kind of looks into everything, and maybe some guys don't stand out as well as others, and maybe some guys do.
Yeah, he mentioned Chris Brazzell as well. He's the 7th in mine. I really like him. 6'5", really fast as well. 205 pounds as well. He's a big dude. The only thing with him I've noticed is effort when he's not getting the ball is noticeable sometimes, especially the lack of effort. He doesn't necessarily love to block when it's not coming to his side. I mean, that's not going to hold well in the NFL. So definitely we'll have to look at that. But that could just be a maturity thing, a culture thing. But that was something that I definitely noticed that is a concern to mine. So
yeah, I think especially in the AFC North, you're going to need wide receivers that can block. Quite a bit of time you have to spend running the football. You got to have guys blocking on the outside. You got to have guys open up some running routes, right? When you get on the perimeter.
He's very fast. 6'5", 4'5", so yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody else that you would have? That's Ryan Mossor's big board. First of all, like I said, Ryan, I'm just so impressed with the work, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna release this at some point in some way. I'm not sure how yet. I'm still working on the defense. It's gonna take me a little while. Hopefully, I get it done sooner than later, though. So it's just taking me a few months. So
it's a ton of work. If you need any help, don't ask me. That's smart guy stuff.
Thanks.
I'm kidding. I'd love to help you out. I just don't know. But no, I think that's first of all, the effort's amazing. I literally keep telling everyone that I know about it. I'm so impressed with
thanks,
it.
Man.
So it's really, really cool to me. When we get back, we're gonna take a break. Okay. When we get back, we're gonna talk about our Cleveland Mount Rushmore. Maybe yours looks like this. I don't know. And by the way, that's seamless. I can't even tell that those aren't actually chiseled into that mountainside. Can you tell at all? I do.
I like the bush under LeBron's chin there.
Yeah, you gotta have that. I feel like that's excellent Photoshop work. You can't even tell the difference between the real Mount Rushmore and this one. But yeah, I mean, that's maybe I'm giving my Mount Rushmore away, but that's just an example of what it could look like. You could have LeBron James, you could have Jose Ramirez, you could have Jim Brown, you could have Joe Thomas. I think that's fair. When we get back, we're definitely going to talk about that. Before we go to the break, though, I do want to remind you that we are sponsored by Alley Rose Fragrances. So please go to allyrosefragrances.com. Use our code InsideEdge20 for 20% off your entire order. And also, before we go to break, while you're looking at that, I just want to remind you, listen, guys, you're already watching us here, right? You're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, you're watching us. Please like and subscribe to us here. Just find the Inside Edge Net. We're everywhere. We're on YouTube, obviously. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, and we are on Facebook. We're completely grassroots. So, guys, your support matters. Okay, it helps us out. And again, just follow the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net. You can search that on any social media platform. We are everywhere. So just make sure you don't miss any new content from us. Okay, we appreciate you guys. We thank you for your support. And we also remind you to please go support our sponsor, Alley Rose Fragrances. She's at allyrosefragrances.com. And again, they've got candles, they've got body mists, everything that you need. But we appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our Twitter. Go find us on TikTok. We've got plenty of short form content there. Find us on Instagram and subscribe. We've got all kinds of reels, Facebook reels, everywhere, guys. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, we're completely grassroots. We're starting this from the ground up. So your support really does matter. We notice, and it really, truly does help us. I'm going to leave the sponsor information up. Again, the website is allyrosefragrances.com, just like you see right there. Alley Rose Fragrances, no surprises. So, like I said, we're going to go to break. We will be back in just about 5 minutes here on the Inside Edge Network. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back to the Inside Edge Network Sunday Sports Show, where we try to surprise our co-host with how fast we come back, so we can see if we can catch him not ready. 1-0 me. I'm up. Anyway, we're gonna talk about our. Listen, does your Cleveland Mount Rushmore look like this when you think about athletes? I don't know. I think maybe mine does. But we're gonna get into it a little bit. We're gonna talk about our Cleveland Mount Rushmore. And then before we get out of here, we're gonna talk about what's on our minds. It's got a lot on our minds, man. There's a lot on everybody's minds, I think, over the last while, but especially over the last couple of weeks, particularly. Regardless, we're going to talk about our Cleveland Mount Rushmore as far as athletes go. I think it's fair to start with LeBron James, right? I mean, I know he's a polarizing guy. I don't really understand exactly why. I think people just get a little weird with some of this stuff, but whatever. Regardless, I think the first guy we can put on there is LeBron. Brought the city its first championship since way back, right? 1948. In 2016, the Cavs won. They down 3-1 to the Warriors, the best regular season NBA team of all time. By the way, that Golden State Warriors team was 73-9 for the regular season. The Cavs came back and beat them in the finals. Couldn't have been scripted any better, really. For those of you that say that pro sports are scripted, there you go. But yeah, it couldn't have really been. It couldn't have gone any better for Cleveland. That was a lot of fun. Hard to believe that was 10 years ago now. Just amazing that it's 10 years. Whatever, 10 years flies by. I guess we're having fun. But so can we all, Ryan, TK, we can agree on LeBron James as our kind of like our number one guy on the Cleveland Mount Rushmore?
Yep.
Okay, fair. So what about this second spot? I have Jose Ramirez on mine. That's my personal Mount Rushmore. There's no sense trying to be mysterious about it. That's who my guys are. So as you look at that, I mean, does Jose Ramirez fit on your guys' Mount Rushmore? Ryan, I'm going to start with you.
It depends if you go to 4 or 5, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I have LeBron James as my number 1. I think that's consensus. Jim Brown is my number 2, although we, none of us other than the Chad got to actually watch him. And then
wait a minute.
Just kidding. Joe Thomas as my number 3, clearly, and then I gave the number 4 to Myles Garrett over Jose.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone thinks that or not, but I mean the accolades himself. If we throw Joe Thomas up there for what he has done, 10 Pro Bowls, 10,363 consecutive plays, never missed a single snap until his last season. Myles Garrett is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, the only second ever unanimous. And he owns the sack record. I mean, I love Jose, and I love Jose. He is my favorite Guardian right now, but he's never won an MVP. He has gone farther. He's always making the playoffs. He is the heart, soul of this team. There will be a statue out in front of Progressive Field. But in terms of just accolades and overall whose name is going to be remembered 20, 30 years from now, it's probably not going to be Jose. It's going to be Myles Garrett.
See, that's fair. And that's why this is so tough. I mean, so Myles Garrett was kind of like my 4B, right? Joe Thomas was my 4A. I'll show it again in case you want to see the excellent Photoshop work. I'm sure you're missing it. But yeah, I mean, I struggled with, and I had, I had my cutout, head of Myles Garrett, and I thought, I'm gonna put him, but it's Joe Thomas. I don't know. And I think it's just because we've seen the full scope of Joe Thomas's career, and he still continues to be kind of a Cleveland. I don't want to say an ambassador but he kind of is, right? For me, it was just down. I guess it came down to, well, they're really almost. I mean, Myles Garrett has more, I guess, playoff decoration than Joe Thomas. He's been there, right, and won a game. But then I don't know. It was like, for me, it was the trade demand. And I guess you could say, well, LeBron left twice. Yeah. But LeBron's the only guy on here that really brought a modern era championship, right? I know obviously the NFL championships, Jim Brown, the 50s, back when I was in my 20s. That's fine. And I finally remember those memories of watching him. Ryan, thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, I don't know. For me, it was just the difference between, like I said, LeBron brought the championship. Jose Ramirez shows nothing but a willingness to be here no matter what, right? He's taken, you could say a hometown discount. I mean, And as for no MVPs, yeah, that's fair. But he's also a perennial top 5 candidate for the MVP, right? So that's fair to say as well on that side of it. God, it's just it's a really tough argument, and
I think it's going to come down to marketing. I mean, obviously, the NFL markets way significantly better than the MLB does. How many people outside of Cleveland or outside of baseball know Jose Ramirez? But how many people know Myles Garrett? I mean, he's dating one of the best Olympians of all time, Chloe Kim. I mean, he's out there. He's being marketed, and on top of that, he's breaking records. And despite all the woes around him, I guess on the team, he did. I mean, of course, he was disgruntled. But if you're in his position as well, one of the best in his position, one of the maybe the best of all time. I don't know, and I'm looking at this as an outside scope of Cleveland fandom. Like, of course, Cleveland fans are probably going to throw Jose in there because their hearts are tied to him. But in the outside world, Myles Garrett's going to be in that on every other list other than anybody who's tied to Cleveland. So,
I mean, that's perfectly fair. TK, where are you at on this? We agree on LeBron James. Who are your next 3 guys? I mean, who do you have?
Well, for my for my Mount Rushmore, there we go. I actually have Jimmy B as number 1. Okay. He was the first one to bring the championship. Granted, I wasn't even a thought back then. Number 2 would obviously have to be LeBron James. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is obviously Joe Thomas. You guys know exactly to the extent of how much of a Joe Thomas groupie I am. Mm-hmm. And for number 4, this is definitely a tough one, but I definitely had to go longevity on this one. I went with Jim Thome. I think a lot of it comes down to, okay, sure, you don't have the championship acumen. However, you were here for 2 teams that did compete for a championship. And as far as I'm concerned, the 1997 World Series is by far one of the most competitive World Series that I've ever seen. Obviously, the painful memory of Jose Mesa going down and the ball just grazing off of Charles Nagy's glove, and they're skating the home plate and celebrating, and that's still very painful. But at the same time, I think 25 is at the center of that. You think a 612 home run career, 337 of those came here. 1,700 RBIs, 937 of them came here. He had a career high 52 home runs in 2002, right before he left for the Phillies, which I thought stunk. Made another All-Star team with the Phillies and with the Chicago White Sox as well. But anyone with a brain stick knows Jim Thome is a Cleveland Indian through and through. Always has been, always will be. Yeah. So that was my 4th pick. I definitely think Myles Garrett will definitely garner a lot of consideration when all is said and done. I mean, obviously, 2-time unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. To be quite honest, I don't think that's his only 20-sack season either. Granted, we had to wait till he was 30 until he got that. I do not think it would take this long. Yeah. But at the same time, it did happen. I do think he will have another 20-sack season next year. Listen, there are a number of ways that we could have went with this Cleveland Mount Rushmore. Good Lord. But I definitely think for me, that is definitely what fits. Going with Jimmy, Bron, Joey T, and Jimmy T to round that out.
To be clear, the list I gave was an objective list where I thought, the perception of the world would think these are probably the Mount Rushmore. My personal one, I have LeBron James, Myles Garrett, Jim Thome as my 3rd, who is my favorite Cleveland Indian or Guardians player of all time, and then Kyrie Irving as my 4th. Josh Cribbs last man out. So just personal. That's who pulled on the heartstrings more. So there. Yeah,
see what I mean? These kind of lists are so objective. I mean, there were a lot of different ways. No one said Manny Ramirez, and I thought that we could. Manny was just so dynamic here, and I know he didn't do a ton of his damage in Cleveland. He did a lot of that, but it's just he's so central to, like, when you think about, like, probably to me maybe the best right-handed hitter in the history of baseball. I mean, Manny just absolutely could rake in his prime, and people forget. As far as beloved athletes, I mean, Grady Sizemore.
I tried to play league him in the backyard, man.
Yeah, everybody did. I mean, he was just reckless abandon, and it probably shortened his career, to be honest with you. I mean, he played absolutely. The number of times I saw him crash into that center field wall, or start a game with a triple. I mean, it's just he was amazing. He was so dynamic at the leadoff spot and in center field. Such a good player, really. I mean, just really such an underrated player. Mark Price, Craig Elo. You could have made an argument for either one of them. Bernie Kosar. No one mentioned Bernie Kosar.
Lindor,
and just like
Mark Price, sure, not so much Craig Elo.
Well, fair enough. I just thought of the era. The winning.
I love the Craig. Don't get me wrong, but if you honestly gather a bunch of Cleveland fans up together, what is the consensus going to be about Craig Elo? I'll tell you what it's going to be. May 7th, 1989 versus the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. And maybe that's the last thing I have of him is that shot of, that Jordan shot going right over him. Maybe that's why he's so memorable, in my mind. But that's exactly, you're right. That's exactly the picture that I think of, TK. That's exactly it.
Big Z, Vrajal, like there's like hundreds of guys that you can pick. Just
absolutely,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So Kyrie's a good pick. Someone said, I don't remember where I saw this comment, but someone said that Kyrie Irving is probably the most skilled player in the history of the Cavs, and I thought, yeah, it's fair.
LeBron, but I do get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just his handles. My goodness, I mean,
handles, his creativity, his ability to hit impossible shots. Not to mention the shot. I mean,
yeah, and none of that goes down without LeBron. We get that. We understand that. Yeah, I mean, Kyrie's handles were second to none when he was here. I mean, it was absolutely amazing to watch him create. Okay, so again, I mean, that's our Cleveland Mount Rushmore. They're not all very different. But they're different, and I think person to person, like I said, the list is so objective. They're going to be different. You might see someone who, Bob Feller is another one that no one mentioned. I mean, Bob Feller is a very, central figure to Cleveland sports.
He wrote that his entire life too. You know how many Bob Feller autographs are out in the world right now?
I have one right now on my desk.
I have 4 back here.
Yeah.
like it's almost rare to find something that has Bob Feller on it without an autograph. I'm not even serious. I'm a big collector. It's crazy. So
yeah,
I took advantage of that forever. So good for him.
I was super excited. Someone gave me the Bob Feller ball, and I was like, "This is awesome. This is gotta be." And I found out that he signed everything. He's alive. Like there's probably a few lawnmowers out there with a Bob Feller autograph on the fender.
I have 2 in the garage. Yeah.
There you go. See, that's perfect. All right. Okay, well, that's our Mount Rushmore. Again, if you're seeing this live or you see it afterwards or whatever, just throw in the comments like, who are your 4 athletes or your 5? You can do 5. I don't care. Do 10. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to limit you to you can do whatever it's your Mount Rushmore. You can put all the faces up there you want. Get the hammer and the chisel and go to town. Okay, so we want to. We're just going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about some things that are on our minds. TK, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I definitely think I should probably go first because it really ain't that much on my mind, and usually Ryan eats me up in this category, so we're just gonna keep the pace going.
It's not a competition, man.
No, it's all good. Day after Valentine's Day thoughts. I truly always wanted to know why folks were so against Valentine's Day. Like there are so many different purposes for that holiday. I think the big one that obviously gets pushed out the most and is in the media, you see it on the TV 100 times a day damn near, is for the lover aspect of it. And of course I can respect that. I can I've been there, done that already. But to me, I just don't understand why people just don't see it as a day to spread love. Period. I really don't think that there should be. Granted, there are some days that are going to be taken up for whatever reason you can possibly come up with. Obviously, a reason to show love to your significant other, what have you, maybe your children, other people in your family as well. But just to say, hey, this is a day that hey, look, we can show love in numerous ways. It does not have to be limited. I think most of us spend our years not loving as much as we possibly can, because obviously we got so much things going on. We have, our lives, our careers, outside of that, you're trying to find, the perfect type of balance in your life so that, you don't go crazy or do anything rash. And I honestly think we get lost in that. And I just thought yesterday was just a nice day to just step back and just think, who haven't I shown love to as much as I probably should? Have I really been that good of a person? And in some instances, you probably have to be honest and say no. So I think holidays like Valentine's Day are important. Whether you are single or not, I really don't think that matters. I've spent the majority of Valentine's Day very single, and I've enjoyed each and every one of them, even on the Valentine's days where I had a date. That those were enjoyable as well. Was very thankful for her company. Thankful for her. So, hey, look, if you have it, great. But if not, it ain't the end of the world. I've seen so many derogatory posts about Valentine's Day, and I think I did a video on Facebook earlier, 2-minute cheese session, but whatever, just my feelings on the day. Like, hey, listen, Mike, this isn't a holiday that should be condemned. I understand. I understand that a majority of us men are kind of simpy in a way, and we give these women all the holidays, including anything else we could possibly give them, just so that they'll tolerate us and not throw us out of the curtain.
They deserve it, man. Like, yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah, I just honestly think this is just another example of, hey, look, just another day to show love. It really doesn't matter who gets the abundance of it. Just that you do it. So that's just my thought.
No, that's fair. I think Valentine's Day, I think any holiday is what you make it for yourself and your family, right? You have your own traditions. You had, and Raul says people buy flowers and candy. He bought his wife a hammer drill. I mean, listen, if your wife likes to do home improvement projects, you got to do what you got to do, man. If that made her happy, then that's fantastic, Raul. I mean, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. My wife doesn't even love Valentine's Day that much. I mean, we spend it more with the kids or whatever. My daughter and I go out to eat every year, and last night we all went out together and we just spent some time together. And like you said, showed some love, and that's okay. I guess I'll kind of piggyback off of what you said, TK. I guess the biggest thing on my mind is that I wish we didn't need holidays to change the way that we thought and the way we act and the way we behave and treat people. I guess I wish we treated everybody more like it was Valentine's Day or like it was Christmas. Like, maybe if we were always in the giving spirit, if we weren't always so selfish and so, I guess, and sometimes life forces you to be a little bit self-centered. You've got to take care of yourself. We talked about loyalty earlier. James Harden said it. Sometimes you really do have to, you got to think of yourself. I mean, it happens, right? You're at a job and they're certainly not going to put you first, most likely. So there are certain situations where you do need to be a little bit selfish, but I think there are other times when you need to back up and maybe, not make everything so divisive and so us versus them and so, black and white, and make it, more gray area, right? Just more benefit of the doubt for people, more tolerance for people who don't look like you, who don't sound like you, who don't celebrate the same cultures or the same holidays, they don't have the same traditions as you. Sometimes you'd be shocked what would happen if you just stop talking and listen to someone, right? So I guess that's what's on my mind. Just don't feel the need to talk and say so many things. Like, I read comments all the time on social media. So many people are so misinformed, but they're so confident. And it's like, man, if you would just take the time to listen, right? And learn and just get to know people, get to know whatever. I think your life would be a lot simpler than trying to argue with everybody all the time. Ryan, what's on your mind, man?
Yeah, going off that, I mean, I agree. Yeah, definitely before I go talk about us versus them. Nonetheless, TK, I agree, man. The world needs love. Yeah, yesterday I spent time with the family. I took he did not like that answer.
Yeah, he does not. Yeah, no love for Tim.
No, you're good. I took my I have 2 toddlers and a newborn. My wife went back to school My wife went back to work this week.
Okay.
And I own my own photography business, so I'm staying home with the boys, and it is hard. So it was a rough week for me, but so yesterday we ended up coming up with like a scavenger hunt where we went all across town and ended up like going to grandma's house and then going to the end goal being ice cream. And it was a lot of fun. Just, we took it to the playground, and it was a lot of fun just to have a little bit of nice weather too. But yeah, definitely spread love, spread truth, man. Truth is a big thing. And I just wish that people would act on that as well. It's in a world that's so sick, we definitely need love for sure, TK. So I love that message. All right. So going to my topic here. Last week I talked about the Super Bowl and the surge of human trafficking during that event. This week I'm going to double down. I will say that these are my own personal thoughts, although if they're not everyone's thoughts, I have very little respect for you nonetheless. I'm going to say this as plainly as I can. The Epstein files should be the kind of thing that brings everyone to a dead stop. We're talking about something so sick, so vile, so fundamentally evil that the idea of everyone just going about their day as normal feels unreal. This has nothing to do with if you lean left or right. Anyone involved in these acts should be dealt with publicly. I'm talking let them eat cake vibes, if you catch my drift. And honestly, the part that is driving me insane the most is the silence, the shrugging, the business as usual attitude. It feels like we're living in a world that, where the most horrific crimes imaginable can be exposed, and somehow the collective reaction is nothing. No urgency, no outrage, no demand for answers, just scrolling, just pretending, just moving on. The things that they have done to children are vile and inexcusable. There's no debate about that. No nuance. No, it's evil, full stop. And I dare anyone to challenge me on that. I dare you. The fact that these people can look at something like this and not feel sick to their stomachs and not feel absolutely furious is honestly terrifying. The level of complacency around something like this massive feels like it's a complete collapse of basic moral standards. This should be a moment where people stand up, demand transparency, and refuse to let this get buried under the next news cycle. When the powerful are involved, accountability shouldn't become optional. And yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off. I'm tired of pretending that this is normal. I'm tired of acting like this is just another headline. A society that can stare at something this dark and keep moving on like nothing happened is a society that's losing its soul. The only way for evil to prevail is if good men do nothing. How dare we as a society not take this fucking seriously? It's the 99% against the 1%. Never forget that. Thank you.
Yeah. In some ways, us versus them is fine. This is a perfect example, Ryan. We should be pissed off. The apathy toward this is it's unacceptable, to be honest with you. And the people who start to argue right versus left, conservative versus liberal, whatever.
It's all of them. Whoever's involved. I mean, off with their heads. I'll be the queen of hearts, Alice in Wonderland. I don't give a shit.
Burn it all down.
This is the family show. I don't care about if society will crumble. That's the freaking point.
Yeah. Because this isn't a society we want. The society that's built on whatever that was is not a society I want. So everyone says, well, it would, the whole system would collapse it. Listen, it's garbage. If this is what it's built on, it's absolute 100% garbage. And I couldn't agree with you more, man. I can't imagine anyone having a problem with what you said. I see arguments online, and my mind is blown that people can still defend these people. I mean, no matter what, it doesn't matter. That's my guy. I voted for him. Doesn't matter. That's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. Do you realize how ridiculous you sound?
I'm shaking. I'm so bad.
It is absolutely ridiculous. And my wife says amen. I mean, seriously, Ryan, I don't know if you could have said it any better. Please stop looking at it through the political glasses. I mean, this doesn't matter. I don't care about left versus, I don't care about any of that.
It's right versus wrong.
Wrong. It's so clearly, it should be so clearly visible. What's right? What's wrong? There's no gray area here. There is a very hard line. And if you've crossed it, there's no coming back. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Once you cross that line, there's no, well, I didn't know. You knew.
I don't want jail. I want action. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Jail, no.
all the I don't care about the Dow. I don't care about your 401k. I don't give a damn how much milk costs or gas. I don't care. And again, I think this is a great. Please call out your friends who don't. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't want to. I want to start yelling and cussing here, man. But
sorry,
it's okay. No, it's not your fault. This isn't your fault. You having that opinion is not the problem, Ryan. The problem is, like I said, the apathy. The people who just look the other way. The people who go, well, I mean, my 401k, hell, I've got 100,000 more than I had 10 years ago. Who cares? I mean, Jesus. I mean, if that's what you care, that's all you care about. And I get it. We talked about it. Sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish in this world, but there are other times, man. I mean, these are children. I mean, children are the literal most precious thing on the face of the earth. And if you're okay turning your whatever, I don't know.
These are our children.
Right.
I mean, look, if you have kids, I have 3 kids. I have 3 under 4. If I look at it, like I read some of this stuff, I saw some of this. I've known about this stuff for years and been called crazy, been exiled from my family and stuff because you know what? I decided to do research and look and you know what? Stuff comes out, man. I mean, I'm not going to go into details because it's disgusting. But imagine your children, your nieces, nephews, any child that you love in that scenario, and not act like it's absolutely awful. Like, what are we doing here? This is bullshit.
I don't care about your 401k. Do the right damn thing. I mean, it's that simple. And I know that some of you are probably listening to this and going, and that's the problem. You're the problem. You are absolutely the problem. Do the right damn thing. I mean, whatever. Listen, we're gonna get out of here. Like I said, I'm gonna start yelling and cussing. I've been so mad about this my ears are getting red. I can feel them. I can feel them getting hot. We're gonna jump out of here, but please, as we go forward, just again, do the right thing. Please, please, please do the right thing. And remember,
speak up about it, guys. We should be pissed. This is not something that you should hide and be like, oh, I don't want to get in the middle of it. Are you kidding me? This is not time to stand on the fence or worry about offending someone. If they're offended, they're idiots. Anyone that touches a child needs to die. I don't care. Sorry, I'm done.
I understand, man. It's just it's sickening. It's disgusting. And just more and more each week, I see people that just don't care online because their 401k is better than it's ever been, or their investments are looking great. I can't believe that people are this cold and this just apathetic to everything that's happening in the world. I mean, I don't know. Wake up and do the right damn thing. I'm tired of thinking. I'm tired of just whatever. Do the right damn thing. Do it.
We'll see you next week, guys. After
we'll get out of here.
Super Bowls and Olympics. Woo! So fun as the elites are killing and eating our children. Whatever.
I know, man. I know. And we're just trying to bring you, an hour or two of just sports coverage here whenever we can. But there are real world issues that need to be talked about, need to be discussed, and that's why the Inside Edge Network is here. I mean, we're not going to back down from saying these things. So I guess, like I said, if you don't like what we're saying, then unfortunately, you're a part of the problem. Yep. We appreciate every single one of our viewers, but if that's your mindset, if you're apathetic toward this, if you don't care about what's happened to these children, these young children, then we don't. That's okay. I don't need you as a viewer, to be quite honest with you. Please just do the right damn thing. So that's it. Before I, whatever. I don't care if I make anybody mad about this. I don't care. This shouldn't be a divisive issue. This should be 100% of every human being on the earth should be on this side of this argument.
Like I said, challenge me. I dare you. I don't care.
It's ridiculous.
Just show who you are.
Yep. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Please remember, I feel weird doing the promos and the reads and stuff, but just remember, it's okay. No, it's not your fault.
Next week I'll be.
I'm sorry.
I said next week I'll be happy.
There you go. I mean, maybe it's a lot to deal with, Ryan. Like you said, it's hard to go about your daily business when you know that this is happening and you know that there are so many people that just don't care that it's happening. Yeah. It's quite honestly, it's terrifying. Anyway, just remember the Inside Edge Network all week. Eli and I will be here. Inside Edge Prime Time. We've got Midnight Run with Double A, Anthony Alford. That's going to start at midnights. That'll be going on. That'll be after the Guardians preview show Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. That's
real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's just myself, Rob Zicki, Autumn Chisholm, and Eli Moon will bring you that. And then don't forget that Ryan has the word.
Commissioner's Couch Podcast. We haven't announced this, but we are coming back this Thursday. This coming Thursday, we're going to break down some prospects, David and I, and season 2 is going to be awesome. So yeah, we're going to break down as many prospects as we can, after the combine, before the draft, after the draft, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So check us out, the Commissioner's Couch pod. We will be Thursdays, not Wednesdays anymore. Thursdays at 7:00. I'll do my Voice of the Land podcast and then go back to back and do the Commissioner's Couch. So check us out. Thank you. Sorry about that.
There you go. Ryan Mossor, we're going to double as well. Don't miss that. Listen, guys, before we go, just you know about all the programming. Just like I said, please do the right thing. I mean, do the right thing, guys.
Just talk about it. That's the first step.
Yes. Yeah. Talk about it.
Acknowledge it's there, and then maybe eventually something will happen.
Yeah, we've got to change things.
We the people, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely have to change things. All right, guys. We'll see you.